say, do you think any government people have a hard time eating themselves? No, it's the ordinary people. And they also ask how come the world isn't saying Israel has hundreds of nuclear weapons. Israel does not allow any inspectors to look at their weapons facilities. Israel will not sign on to any treaties like the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Israel will not even admit it has nuclear weapons. So they say, why is this focus like a laser on us when we don't want to even develop nuclear weapons? Why isn't there a call for a nuclear-free Middle East, they ask us. They say, we don't want nuclear weapons, we don't want Israel to have nuclear weapons, we don't want anybody to have nuclear weapons. Why isn't that the call from the U.S. government? I'm actually very proud that President Obama has stuck to the negotiations with Iran. This is one of the things in the U.S. foreign policy that we can agree with. But we know that in this Congress there is so much pressure to sabotage these talks. And that, unfortunately, is a reflection of a broken system that we have. While we go around the world telling people they need democracy, we have a two-party system that functions with money. And that money comes from wealthy people. And those wealthy people are organized. And the most organized group of wealthy people that try to influence our foreign policy is AIPAC. AIPAC is connected to all of these moneyed interests, and AIPAC gives the stamp of approval saying this is where your money should go. And so every single member of our Congress is afraid of AIPAC. They want the money that comes with the AIPAC stamp of approval, but they fear being off the AIPAC list. And if you're off the AIPAC list, that means that there will be lots and lots of money poured into another candidate to get you out of Congress. That is not the way a democracy should work. It's not healthy for our country, and it's not healthy for the world. And that's why we say AIPAC is actually a danger to democracy. So as we go through the halls of Congress today, let's not fault these individual members of AIPAC, because I think a lot of them are misinformed, a lot of them are brainwashed. I come from a Jewish family. My family was supporters of AIPAC. I learned by traveling throughout the world, by going to the Middle East. I learned the truth. But many of these people have not had the opportunity to do that. Let's try to engage with them in real discussions. Talk to them about what life is like for Palestinians. Talk to them about why we need these negotiations with Iran, because the world needs peace. But let's also talk to the members of Congress and their staff and tell them that we need them to represent us, the people of the United States that don't want billions of our tax dollars going to feed more wars. People of the United States that want to see our money put into things like education and healthcare and green energy and things that we need for our country to function in a way that feeds its people, that takes care of its people, and that leads us into the next century of a green economy. So let's go with the positive feelings we feel for the people of Gaza, for the people of Iran, for the people around the world, and show the folks at AIPAC and show the folks in Congress that they're on the wrong path, and the path to peace is one of leaving aside the policies of AIPAC, of stopping to think, where am I going to get the most money for my next election? But think, what can I do to make the world a more peaceful place? Thank you.
All right, and once again, that was Medea Benjamin of Code Pink. Now, before we get ready to march here and take this message to Boehner's office, I want to bring up one final speaker. And I believe, as I said before, this is a good final speaker because he shows the broad cross-section of folks we've brought out here today from a wide range of backgrounds. I want to bring up a good friend of mine, Brother Phil Portlock, representing the Christian faith community. Thank you, Phil.
Good morning, everyone. I applaud all of you and myself for coming out in this cold weather, but it's for a very critical reason. I want to just real quickly talk about the personal aspect of this issue that we're talking about. How many out here have personal friends? Just raise your hands real quickly. Personal friends that you really care for and respect and will support them in most of what they do. Let me ask this second question. If a so-called friend of yours or a dear friend of yours is doing something that you feel is injustice and not fair, would you be bold enough to tell that person for their well-being that, hey, buddy, check yourself? How many would do that? Hopefully. So let's translate that now to this nation. And I'm speaking to America, my country, when it comes to what's going on and what has been going on in the Middle East. Our nation knows very well that when you have thousands of Palestinians killed in several conflicts, and then you have a government that continues to support this and say that we are dear friends of Israel. Well, when is the time going to come when that true friendship is shown where you can just say, enough is enough, my friend?